Hey guys, so I have exactly 15 minutes to film this video before I start teaching. Let's go! Okay, so on the last video, Kiara asks, "Hey Joanna, I'm not sure what I am, but I think I'm right in the middle between solo playing and chamber playing. I have a request for you. Could you maybe do a video on how to collaborate with a pianist or share your experiences with pianists that you've worked with?" Alright, Kiara, I feel like I've answered your questions before. You tend to ask very good questions. I saw that other people liked your comments as well, so that's actually a really good sign for me to know if a lot of you want to ask the same question. So this got me thinking about my experiences working with pianists. I was very shocked to find out that not all pianists play the same way. You have solo pianists who play in a very soloistic style, and you have chamber pianists who play more in a chamber style. But you also have, I believe, a third category of pianist, which is the accompanist. Now here's the thing, a lot of pianists in the music world hate the word accompanist because that means that the pianist is on a second tier, second to the soloist. They hate being seen as like second-class citizens of the music world, which I get. That can be seen as a derogatory term. However, you just have those pieces where the pianist is only doing stuff like this. There's no real melody to it. You are literally accompanying the melody. I personally, because I am a chamber player, like I said in the last video, I actually do not really like to perform pieces that force the pianist to play like that. Unfortunately, most flute showpieces force the pianist to do that. So the pianists, even if they don't want to be, are forced into an accompanist role. So, in terms of my own experiences, I honestly don't remember exactly the first time that I played with an accompanist. I only remember that when I did play with the accompanist, I noticed that I lost complete sense of the beat because it completely threw me off, the idea of playing with another musician. Before then, I was only playing piano, so I was used to just keeping the beat on my own. It was really odd to kind of realize that I had to connect with another musician, at least on the level of counting in the same tempo. And I remember that was a huge struggle for me in the beginning. Even though, yes, I am naturally a chamber player, it actually did take me a while to understand this idea of being one with another musician. I just kept rushing. My teacher kept stopping me. It was pretty embarrassing. But the second huge experience that I had with a piano accompanist was with my piano teacher, Carmencita Espiris. I believe she accompanied me for a competition, and for that competition I was playing the Chaminade Concertino. Yes, that is a flute showpiece. She went to town with the accompaniment. I mean, I honestly think that maybe I was too young of a player to stand on my own with such an amazing pianist. So she definitely did not play that piece as an accompanist. She played that piece as a chamber player. I found out later that my piano teacher loves playing chamber music. She went to town and I couldn't keep up. So this is something that you guys do need to think about. If you are a younger player or if you're not as experienced with piano accompanists, or motorcyclists. If this is a pianist that you work with or your entire studio works with and you are stuck with this pianist, honestly, you are just going to have to learn how to hold your own. It's really like learning how to hold your own in a social context, in a conversation. You have to learn how to stand your ground, but have this flowing conversation with another musician. I was pretty much blown out of the water by my piano teacher. She did not mean to do that. Honestly, I just think it's because she was just that much better than I was, because at that point I think I was only what, like 12 or 13 or something like that. I actually really want to go back and play some chamber music with her now and see how we play together. I'm guessing we play very well together now, but that's because now I'm at a master's level. Then the third huge experience that I had with a pianist was for my bachelor's recital. I believe at that point she was a master's student who later went on to become a doctoral student. in piano performance. I think she even went into chamber piano performance. We played the Prokofiev flute sonata. So the one that was transcribed for violin too, because yes, that one was originally written for the flute and was transcribed for violin later. Very much so, the Pianist is on the same level as the flute in terms of roles. An amazing piece, lots of drama, and there's a lot of back and forth. You, the flutist, will play something and then the pianist will respond, or the pianist will play something and then you respond. I remember that we were actually both coached by her piano professor, and her piano professor really got us to have this back and forth conversation between the two of us. That was an amazing learning process, just learning how to become one with another musician. I remember we just rocked that piece. Not because I was particularly good, but just because we had that life going on between us. We were both musicians who valued the interaction between two musicians over the glory of one musician. That's just how we roll. In terms of what would I suggest for you guys, if you can, try and find a pianist who is like-minded. If you are a true solo player and you want a person who plays accompaniment parts, so not on the same level as the flute, find someone who specializes in it. There are people who actually specialize in that type of accompaniment. You can play at any tempo, you can make all the mistakes you want, and they will follow you to the grave. But if you are a chamber player like me, find a chamber pianist, because both of you will want to play the same types of music. You'll just kind of like jive together a lot better. Figure out what type of musician you are first. If you want more of my thoughts on what type of musician you are, watch my last video. And then find someone who is like you. The best thing that can happen to you on stage when you perform is that people just know that you and your pianist are on the same page. There's just some sort of magic happens when you guys are thinking the same thing. Find your match. You basically gotta, date a few pianists and figure out which one works for you. And that is it for this video. I hope it was helpful for you guys. I'm sorry if it was a little bit on the shorter side. I've been pretty busy with a whole bunch of other things that have been happening lately. But as usual, if you guys have follow-up questions, please leave it in the comment section below. Like other people's questions too if you want those to be answered. Because of course, I would love to make follow-up videos, kind of like how this was a follow-up video to last week's video. And also, as usual, if you like this video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up and hit subscribe for new videos every Saturday. My last video is over there, and if you want to catch me during the week, my social media networks are down there. But otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Bye. Wow, I am like shining glory again. I didn't even notice. Well, you guys are just gonna get a really bright Joanna this week.